Maç başladı. Evrimli Şövalye ikisinden de. Arkadaşlar siz benimle inatlaşmıştınız. Demiştiniz ki Evrimli Şövalye en iyi evrim, okçular evriminden daha iyi falan demiştiniz. Ama nasıl da gördük arkadaşlar. Sen evet. Atıcı. Wallace bu arada ben mezarlık kullanıyor demiştim.
Oh, maybe a little bit of graveyard too. Wow, Bowler is just in every single death.
Really he is, as we see an aggressive E-Giant here at the bridge. Bowler obviously does a really good job dealing with that tombstone, and NATO going to come out though instead to try to get that tombstone off the board.
Evet, mezarlığı iyi kullanıyor.
Really nice defense there by Wallace, at least thus
Güzel
far.
yavrular.
Yeah, the Phoenix is significantly weaker than it was when, at the time of release, it was one of the strongest cards in the game. But when it's not getting attacked by the tower, it's only getting attacked by the baby dragon. It's going to clean everything up nicely.
Şimdi bu eşleşmeyi nasıl oynar?
Elektroya
Elektroya basıldığında mezarlıkla girmesi lazım. Şövalye artık mezarlıkla girmesi lazım. Onun dışında bu eşleşmeyi yenmesi biraz zor bir olasılık.
Although I don't actually know. Maybe he didn't have NATO. Maybe it's my fault. I need to pay attention.
68% to 57%.
Şu anda da girebiliriz bu arada.
Win rate, but those matches won don't really do service to Not Afraid. That's obviously just in that qualifier that he got second place in.
Galiba bütün maçları kırmızı taraf yenmiş. Öyle yazıyorsunuz bana şu an.
CRL Worlds Visitor. And Bowler everywhere because of that little prince.
Wow, and right there, the E-Giant is actually going to push it up, so it's going to reset that. Wow, a real tough scenario for Wallace right there. And I don't know if it was on purpose, but the placements right there were beautiful from Not Afraid.
And decent defense here from
Evet, Elektrolev tarafı atıcıyı eksik etmemeli çünkü mezar taşını öldürüyor atıcı.
Of the matchup that they're in.
Bravo. Çok güzel bir özellik.
Gonna go in front, be able to protect the little prince, and a lot of poison value coming in for Wallace. A great first push, and it's not that much damage, but it really is setting the tone. He's going to get the tower down to 2,500.
Yeah, you get an easy cleanup here on the Bowler. You're set back to even. You got that graveyard damage in, and perfect timing on Wallace to get that Guardian across the bridge to tank for that graveyard. A little fancy footwork there. Like you said, Josh, doesn't get a whole lot out of it, but he does get the lead.
Yavrucak kuleye vurabilir bu arada.
As well if he wants to pull the trigger on it.
Şansa vurmadı ha. Mezarlık tamamen rastgele çıkıyor. Farklı bir yerden çıksaydı kuleye vurabilirdi.
Instead, tower down to 2361. And look, even when he's defending it perfectly, that's a graveyard that only got 2 shots. But at the same time, the Bowler's wasted, the Knights are wasted, all these cards get wasted, and it's going to be sometimes pretty clean defense with just the poison and the Baby Dragon natives.
And Little Prince stays alive in the back there, but then gets taken off the board by that Evo Knight. Evo Knight of Wallace is on the other side trying to work towards that tower. But this E-Giant Bowler combo needs some more attention. E-Giant's going to get some good damage here for Not Afraid.
Zor, mezarlık oynamak çok zor ya. Allah'tan Not Afraid'in okçusu yok. Okçusu olsa zaten maç bitti. Semih'den bilmiyorum ama çok seviyorum. Çok teşekkür ederim. Ben de seni seviyorum.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more calm, a lot more poise from these two players than we saw in their initial matches today, but right now 23-19, 1966.
Güzel yıldırım ama pek bir etkisi olmadı. Kuleye atsa bence daha iyiydi.
Wow, right there, 2 shots right there, no tombstone in cycle, he can go in. 35 seconds left, we need to see the
şimdi mezarlık. Atıcı kuleye vuruyor. Wallace bat mezarlığı. Hadi. Küreselde de mezarlık kullanıyor arada, görüyorum.
1743, Not Afraid technically in the lead as of when I started speaking, but by the end of this sentence, it looks like Wallace is going to be able to take that lead as well. Aggressive Evo Knight at the bridge, E-Giant in the opposite direction.
Saldır, saldır, saldır, saldır. Bravo. Bas yerine. Bas kasırganı kazan. Kazan. Bravo Wallace. Eşleşme iyi de okçu olmadığı için. İzmir nesi meşhurdur?
Let's see how his confidence will be. Has anybody said it yet?
Herhalde biliyorsunuz. Evet arkadaşlar, deprem gördük yine. Çok fazla deprem var. Herkes madenci oynuyor. Mutlaka bir VS'de illa madenci görüyoruz. Mega şövalye olur. Klasik madenci olur, madenci arkacı olur ama bir şekilde o madenci göreceğiz. Kraliyet domuzlar diyorsunuz ha? Mega şövalye vs domuzlar. Ya domuzları bölerseniz o zaman çalışır mega şövalyeye karşı. Hayatımda sadece 3 kere yayın izledim. 3 de senin yayın. Teşekkür ederim. Ya yayın güzeldir. Sevdiğiniz bir insan varsa onu izlersiniz ya. Ben de mesela sevdiğim insanlar var. İzlerim abi.
And speaking of troops on the field, AC, when you look at what Not Afraid has in his arsenal already, definitely going to need to add some meat on those bones in terms of the deck that he's got at hand.
Direkt atabilir aslında paketi ya. Belki geç kalmış. Kameramı sağ üstü alamam. Adamın suratını kapatmış olur. Güzel destem. Evrim okşu yine vurur mu? Yakın menzil kartı yok arkadaşlar. Of, evrim okşu nesin sen ya? Arkadaşlar Not Afraid'in yakın menzil kartı yok. O yüzden Wallace sürekli köprüden halki falan atıyor.
Getting the tower down to 25-41. I saw 0.5 HP, and it's still gonna get 500 HP. That is brutal to see if you're Not Afraid.
And continuing to cycle there on the right-hand side is Not Afraid. Another Tesla comes in. That Tesla, though, gets a dash from that Bandit. Ice Spirit perfectly placed. And a fun back and forth here in game number 2.
Yeah, needed to place it down, and right there, Wallace coming in with the Prince again, getting aggressive and choosing not to go in with a Mega Knight. Oh my goodness!
Güzel buzları. Bak güzeldi. Ama lan press.
MK comes in there and a log has to come out. I like the Skellies to take the charge and then the delivery coming down as Piggies go out on the right-hand side. And Wallace, though, has a great counter push coming in. You see right there, Not Afraid shaking his head, knowing that this is a lot to deal with.
İşte bu yakın menzil yok. Eşleşme Wallace'da ya. Tutamaz Mega şövalyeyi. Bitti.
For Not Afraid. Now Miner goes to the back. Does he have a spell? Arrows are in. And just like that, it feels like the end of Not Afraid's World Finals run.
Down to 576.
Evet, Not Afraid veda ediyor arkadaşlar CRL'ler.
Just an Ice Spirit in response from Not Afraid, but
bundan sonra Mortal maçı var. Mortal eğlenecek mi acaba?
I mean, Not Afraid. Royal Hogs, Quick Cycle going against Mega Knight. Just a lot of cards that are just always going to be defending those Royal Hogs easy.
Yeah, and having the arrows there, great call. Obviously, knowing that the archers were still in play, you have to imagine.
Artık son hamlelerini yapıyor ya. Dünya haftalarındaki son hareketleri.
The arrows, but going to do a good job on those regular archers, and that's exactly what gave Wallace a massive lead and adds to it right there.
Good Bandit going to place it off to the side so that way it gets the dash.
That's going to be it.
Bitti bitti ya. Hiçbir şey yapamazsın ki. Yakın menzil yok. Bravo Wallace. Şimdi Mortal mi yenecek yoksa kimdir rakibi hatırlamıyorum. BİRDEN vs Mortal. Hadi bakalım. Ya içimden bir ses şey diyor ya, Mortal kazansın falan diyor ama BİRDEN de öyle aşağılanacak bir adam değil. BİRDEN közü kaybetti aslında Pedro'ya karşı. Bayağı ağır bir kayıptı. Yani öndeydi falan. Evet, bu loser break'ti arkadaşlar. Kaybedenler grubu.
Right there, Little Prince able to take out the rest of the Mighty Miner. Morton running Miner, Mighty Miner. Royal Delivery, still not exactly sure what he's going to be doing. Could be a quick cycle wall breakers. Ruben, 0 elixir right there, but a pretty decent push coming down the lane.
And able to be picked up by the Mighty Miner, and you know, it isn't as strong as it was before the most recent emergency nerf, but a lot of the discourse going into this weekend from many of the coaches and analysts about the question of who has played and who hasn't played Little Prince. in any given moment. And if you can win the game where you
Bayağı başa baş şu
don't
an
have Little Prince and your opponent does,
Morten'e baktığımda yakın menzil kartı var şu madenci. Ruben sanki böyle havanla vurabilir, madenci de vurabilir, madenci yarasayla vurabilir. Madenci yarası güzel iş yapar. Onun dışında ya madenci tutmakta zorlanır birazcık. Zehir var mı?
Well, and then that opens up those big questions, right? As Morten makes decisions.
Oh, kartopunu kaçırdı.
Snowball from Ruben. He cannot believe it. Huge damage in, and just like that, Morten is back in business.
Ruben böyle oynarsan yenemezsin Morten'i.
Plus the bats, but will need the archers to help. No swing from the Valk, so very clean defense from Morten right there.
And now trying to get a little more optimization off of the opening, but delivery is more than there to recover for Morten. Miner goes a little bit deep, maybe trying to just sneak the recruit in there, not going to do it. Instead, recruit does die.
Çok başa baş şu an. O hataya rağmen maç başa baş.
With under 30 seconds left in regulation time.
Extremely close game. The only difference, I mean,
bomba kulesini tahmin etti. Havan kuleye bakıyor.
That is a huge situation. Now Ruben can go opposite lane. Morten can't get the miners plus poison same lane as the mortar. This changes how the entire rest of the game gets played.
What a massive connection, and honestly, Josh, I'm a bit surprised at how often we've seen mortars connect today.
Yeah, it doesn't often happen right there. The mortar evolution going to take out one of the archers, going to almost take out the second one, and there you go. This is a very solid push. Ruben defends the right lane quite nicely, and he still has a half health mortar left in play.
But look at the damage on the right-hand side, Josh. 1409 on Ruben's tower, so a pretty big gap opening up, and now Ruben has to go back to that same lane he'd switched away from as he has fallen fairly far behind.
Yeah, very clean defense from Morten.
Yani şu an Ruben'in ters tarafa oynaması lazım. Çünkü aynı tarafa havan atarsa zehir yiyecek. Bak o yüzden hep tersi saldırıyor.
Ruben is going to fully switch over to the left lane. He doesn't want to allow minor poison value for the rest of this match.
And Ruben has been going for prediction on prediction here. The miners trying to predict things in front of the mortars, the skeletons there, trying to make a pickup of their own. That's been sort of the focus of Ruben's game so far. Morten playing very cut and dry, straightforward Clash Royale.
Yeah, and Evo'd archers over the middle. How does he want to protect them? Poison gonna come down, and those Evo archers are getting so much value. They take out the entire bush, and he still has one of them walk into the left lane. Great stuff from
Ruben hata yapması çok rahat alırmış ya maçı.
Very tight again. Evo Archer getting some more pressure on the left-hand side, but you can see the poison cycle maybe slightly ahead for Ruben at the moment as he gets the prediction on the skeletons, and he is going to put a ton of damage on and poison back around one more time.
Yeah, forget everything I was saying earlier. He's going to go same lane. It's going to be a base race to see what is going to happen. The log versus the snowball will change a lot.
Hadi.
Poison in.
Hadi.
Away. Can the
Vurun. Oh.
Spending to take.
Haydut hamlesi geldi. Morten Mega Şövalye oynuyor olabilir. Ruben de Elektrodev olabilir. Mezarlık olabilir. Her şey olabilir. Şu anlık mezarlık gibi gözüküyor. Evet, mezarlık. Vay be, mezarlık popüler olmuş şu an CRL'de. Herhalde sebebini anlayamadım. Okçu olmadığında mı çalışmasını hedefliyorlar, anlamadım. Gene birinci geldi. Bu nereden çıktı bu birinci destesi ya? İnanılmaz gerçekten. Normalde birinci hızlı deste olur ama insanlar Mega Şövalye ile kullanmaya başladı. Evrilme okçu mu? Hayda.
So Mega Knight Prince Hog here against most likely the E-Giant deck. NATO of course going to be a problem for those Hog Riders, but then if you get that big push behind and the Hog Rider gets NATO'd in, that could be devastating. Of course, as we're seeing here, Tombstone easy to shut down those princes.
Yeah, Ruben, I mean,
it
seems like he's giving up a lot of damage right there, but down to 140, it looks like if he's
Morten elenme lütfen.
he can just win once it hits double.
Ben sen de elenme ama Morten ana karakterlerden bir tanesi aslında.
He wants to be able to build those pushes.
Prince to control the bowler on the left
Sağ tarafı ne yapacak? Morten ikisi yok. Oklar.
He's gonna have to tank some damage here on the right hand lane.
Hacı tuttu orayı. Güzel. atak da yapacaktır.
Yeah, we can see a little bit of frustration on Morten's face. I really think that if the matchup is the way that both of these players
Eşleşme sanki Ruben'de gibi. Evet, Morten mutsuz bu yüzden birazcık.
I think Ruben will have a huge matchup advantage.
Here we go, double elixir and now both players slowing way down here.
İkisi de bekliyor şu an.
And you gotta wonder, does waiting until triple give the advantage to Ruben? And
Ruben'de olacak eşleşme, evet. Aa, elektronik. Eşleşme şu an acayip Ruben'de. Morten elveda. Bas yıldırımı bitirir. Güzel bir ince attı ama.
But that's okay. You have your pushes starting. This is what you want if you're Ruben. Yes, you're giving up a lot of damage, but this is where you start to give damage on his end.
So 1200 HP or about 1100 HP at the difference right now.
Köprüden basıyorlar ekranı genelde. Arkadan basarsanız rakip prens atar. O yüzden önden basmak önemli bir şövalye. Şimdi birinci geldi. Oklar. Çarpma varmış bak. Çok güzel çarpma. Birinci bir. İki vurmadı. Morten çok rahatlardı vursaydı. Ama şu an kazanma olasılığı çok düştü. Morten iksir bekliyor çünkü doğru vakti bekliyor. Birinciyle saldırmak için.
An excellent prince there by Morten to defend. Ruben not finding a way to get into the second level. Finally goes E-Giant into his
önden çıksa daha iyi olmaz mı? Herhalde iki tane döndürmeye çalışıyor. Çünkü bak prens gelecek şimdi. Aha, yıldırım atacağını bildiği için birinciye girdi ama çalışmaz herhalde ya. Baksana prens savunuyor bayağı. Şimdi önden basıver köprüden Ruben. Ama savunması lazım tabii. Aa, elektronik prensi yedi. Bir saniye ya. Fişekçi de öldü. Morten'cim bak, hataya gerek yok şu an. Yapma. Aha, birinci geliyor.
1296 to 1401. Hog to the right hand side. Bowler will defend. Mega Knight doesn't lead.
Oh.
Mega Knight almost connects, just barely doesn't, and that could be.
Evrim fişekçi geliyor arkadaşlar. Belki oradan vurabilir. Oklar var mı?
Does not have a lot of spell power to go against this lightning.
Yeah, right there. Double baby dragons up. The minions are going to do nothing. The hog is going to go to the tombstone. 979 to 14.
Aa, Morten elendi.
This is going to be Ruben taking out Morten. Oh my.
Geçen senenin finalisti bu sene elendi ilk günden. Vay be arkadaşlar. Morten gitti. Oha.